What's going on? It's your boy Dolo J, and welcome back to the Kicking It Dolo podcast, a sports podcast where we talk about football and basketball, past, present, and future, top 5, top 10 stats, and more. So on today's episode, basically, we're going to talk about the NBA playoffs. Each series has played at least 2 games. Milwaukee's tied with Miami, and they might be in for a dogfight. Boston and Boston's doing their thing. They look like it's a possibility with whatever going on with Milwaukee and possibly whatever going on with Philly. They could possibly make it back to the Eastern Conference Finals. Lakers and Grizzlies tied at 1 game apiece. Jokic's doing his thing. They're up 2-0. And the Clippers and the Suns. Best series. But yeah, let's get right into the episode, man. So, first of all, I want to say I appreciate all the love and support y'all showed me on the last episode. Basically, it's tied for the second highest viewed episode on my channel. So make sure y'all keep clicking them episodes, man, and go back and watch a couple of old ones too, so you can catch yourself up to speed of what we've been having going on lately. But the first thing we're gonna talk about is basically we're gonna go from the east to the west. Start with the 1-8, then the 2-7 and things of that nature. Disclaimer, whatever. I'm not gonna talk too much about the Boston series like that, or really like the Philly series like that, because they're just going basically how I expected them to go. Now there is a 2-0 series we're gonna talk about, Kings Warriors, that got a lot of people talking. It has some big implications for the game tonight, man. But we're gonna start with the East. All right, Milwaukee and Miami are tied at 1 game apiece. The Heat won the first game, 130-117. Jimmy Butler had 35 points, 5 rebounds, 11 assists, 3 steals. Bam had 22, 9, and 7. K-Love had 18 points, 8 rebounds, 4 threes. Chris Middleton did his thing, 33 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. Holiday had 16 points, 16 assists, 7 rebounds. And he poured in 21 and 8. In the first game, Giannis got injured. I want to say it was in the first quarter. He was attacking the basket, going for either a dunk or a layup attempt, and Kevin Love tried to take a charge. When they collided in the air, Giannis, he kind of turned backwards to try and brace the fall, and falling on his tailbone. I think they said he had a lower back contusion, which ended up, making him miss game 2. But for the most part, as soon as that injury happened, Milwaukee, they was playing good and they was neck and neck with them. But it's as soon as that injury happened, bro, it's just it deflailed them. It derailed them big time, bro. It's just it sucked all the life out of them. And it was just real extremely hard to watch them just do that. Just do that, man. It was extremely hard. Now they bounced back in game 2. The Bucks won 138-122. Lopez had 25 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Holiday had 24, 5 rebounds, 11 assists. Middleton had 16. Allen had 16. Butler, he had 25, 3 and 3. Bam had 18, 5 and 1. And Vincent poured in 16 points and 3 assists. And I think Victor Oladipo had 15 points. But in the first game, Tyler Hero ended up breaking 2 fingers on his shooting hand. He did, make his last shot before going back to the locker room, and I think he really could have been used in this game right here because the Bucks, they didn't have their all-star, their leader, their number 1, their alpha dog. But they came out and played inspired, man. Like I said, Lopez had 25. He was getting lobs. Drew Holiday, he was doing his thing with another double-digit assist game. Really just being the captain of the offense like he normally does. Milton didn't really have to score that many points, but everybody was doing their thing. Bucks made 25 threes in general, as opposed to only making 11 in the first game. They went 11-45. So when you shoot a lot of threes and they don't go in, it really kind of hurts you in a lot of ways. Now in the first game, the Heat, they shot 15-25, 60%. They didn't shoot as many threes, but they made 4 more threes, and they were just getting to the basket, being aggressive. Now I did this towards the end of the video, but my boy deserves a lot more respect than that. I would just want y'all to do me a huge favor. Follow my boy Prescott Kelly on Facebook. Chopping it up with P. Scott Podcast, bro. Make sure you follow him on Spotify. Tell him Dolo J sent you. He shouted me out on his last episode. Well, not his last episode, second to last episode. And bro has really been a genuine friend to me, since I've been interacting with him in the podcasting world. So like I said, man, do me a huge favor. I did this at the end of the episode, but I need to do this towards the beginning as well. follow my boy Prescott Kelly on Facebook. Also, Chopping It Up with P. Scott on Facebook. And make sure you go find Chopping It Up with P. Scott on Spotify. Click the follow, leave a nice review, and tell them Dolo J sent you. Thank you. Getting steals, getting out in transition and stuff like that. And that's kind of how Milwaukee was playing in game 2 for the most part. And it's like, the game was never really close. Like, the Bucks put up 81 points in the first half. I don't remember the last time, I heard about or, pay attention to a game where a team put up 81 points in the first half. Now, you can say it's contributed to today's NBA. It's more offensive oriented. It's very hard. It's extremely hard for the defender to, basically try and stop the opposing man from scoring. You say the rules are kind of geared towards that as opposed to the earlier years in the NBA. But yeah, man, teams have been putting up points in the premium this season. But 81 points in the first half is wild, bro. Wild. And then Drew Holiday was a plus 20 on the court. Him really, taking on that charge. Now Lopez led him to scoring, but Lopez is gonna get putbacks, and people gonna find Lopez cutting to the rim. He did make a 3 in the game, but he was just being aggressive, blocking shots, being a deterrent. That's a tall man, bro. And then Drew Holiday doing this thing as he do, being very feisty and stuff on the defensive end, man. So it's gonna be real interesting to see going back to Miami. The Heat did do something good. They stole a game on the road. So what you want to do when you don't have home court advantage in the first 2 games of that opponent arena, you want to try and steal a game. Get both games if you can, but at least try and get one. Try and split on the road. So now it makes it a little bit easier for when they come back to Miami. But it's really just gonna be, can the Heat? What's number one is gonna be, what is Giannis' status? What's Giannis' status? And number 2, what type of performance are we going to get from the rest of the Milwaukee Bucks, in my opinion? Connaughton had 6 threes tonight, man, and them boys was just, they were balling, bro. Boston's up 2-0 in their series against the Hawks, as we envisioned. It's not really a series, in my opinion. Yeah, they're playing, but it's just like every time the Hawks had a lead in the beginning of game 2, but it was just like, the Celtics was just like, Nets. Philly's doing to the Nets what I expect them to do to the Nets. Not really much to say about here yet. Maybe in Brooklyn, possibly the Nets can make it a series, but ain't really too much to talk about on that type of tidbit. The Cavs and the Knicks. Like I said, this was gonna be my favorite series of the Eastern Conference. First round, of course. Tied at 1 apiece. The Knicks won game 1, 101-97. Brunson had 27 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Randall had 19 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. Hart had 17 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists. I think he went like 8 of 11 from the field. Very efficient. You know how he is. Donovan Mitchell had 38 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, but nobody else really came along with him. Garland and Allen had 17 points. Allen did have 14 rebounds, but it wasn't really enough. Garland had only 1 assist and 5 turnovers. But they bounced back in game 2 as I expected them to do. But the first game, it really was just like Donovan Mitchell, he was just willing his team. And him and Brunson would go back and forth. And Mitchell come down, make a defensive play, and jump into the stands. It was one thing in game 1. I think he went into the 3rd row or something? Yeah, man. That man went into the 3rd row trying to get the ball. So I expected him, to come with the type of intensity. A lot of Cleveland Cavalier players on this team, it's their first playoff series, but they do have some guys that's been in the playoffs before. Mitchell, like I said, Karis LeVert, Jared Allen. I think it's one more guy they have. Is it one more guy? But anyway, yeah, they do got a couple guys that's been there before, been in the playoffs before, at least played 8th round in the playoffs before. That can kind of get, Garland and Okoro ready, and Osman and those other guys, But Donovan Mitchell really carried them in game 2. Not Donovan Mitchell, it was Darius Garland, but it was just Mitchell basically setting up the offense. Now the Cavs won 107-90. Garland had 32, 3 rebounds and 7 assists. 6 of 10 from 3. Mitchell had 17 points, 2 rebounds, 13 assists. Karis LeVert had 24 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Randall, he had 22, 8 and 1. Brunson, he had 25 and 6. Barrett had 14 and 3. Abysmal shooting game for the Knicks. It was like whatever Garland threw up or whatever the Cavs threw up, it went in. And it's just like the Knicks couldn't shoot the ball into an ocean, man. Randall went 8 for 20. Brunson went 5 for 17. And RJ Barrett went 4 for 13. Now, RJ Barrett, I think he went like either 3 of 12 last game or 4 of 12 last game. So he hasn't really shown up a lot in these last 2 games. Well, these first 2 games, excuse me. But it also was like a dirty play with Julius Randle. He almost got like injured or something when Jared Allen went to go block his shot. I think it was in like the fourth quarter. They were already up like 15 points, which is, I kind of understand that you don't want to give them no type of momentum going into the next game. I could also understand how Randall would be upset about that due to the fact of, yeah, man, you could almost injure me, man. Like, I understand we tell these kids. Excuse me. But I understand we tell these kids, don't give up on the play and play to the whistle sounds and all that other type of stuff. But in my opinion, he could have let him go on that one basket. Maybe just that one basket. But at the same time, I also commend this hustle because a lot of players, he tried to tell him, and I think it was like a little sound bit during the broadcast where he was like, that's a hustle play. It's a hustle play. I mean, of course, he didn't mean to injure the man. He don't mean it. No, I don't think he's just trying to block the shot. But I think that one he could have let go. So it's going to be real interesting to see how the series goes. Shifting back to New York. Todd won the piece. RJ Barrett's really going to have to step up, man. RJ Barrett's really going to have to step up. So now we're going to go to the Western Conference. Denver's up 2-0 on Minnesota. First game, not really, very lackluster in my opinion. Wasn't really too much to talk about. Now the game last night was good. Denver, I believe, were up around maybe 18 to 20 points at the halftime, and then in the second half, Minnesota just made like a huge run. I think they ended up taking a lead like towards the end of the third quarter. I think it was like 81 to 80. But Murray had 40 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. Jokic with 27, 9 and 9. Edwards had 41, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. Towns, he got in the foul trouble. He only had 10 points, 12 rebounds. He had some timely shots in their run to, I think he hit a big 3. It was like a layup by Edwards or Conley, and then he came back and hit a 3, and that just kind of like spearheaded the run. It was a pretty good game. It's nice to see Anthony Edwards bounce back after the game he had. The first game he had where he didn't play exceptionally well. But it's kind of going how I expected. Last night was pretty decent. It shows Minnesota can play with them, but if Towns and Gobert can't stay out of foul trouble, there's really nothing that they can do. Murray's getting back to himself. Michael Porter Jr. is hitting shots off the dribble with the handoff, getting to his spots and stuff like that. Jokic is being Jokic, as you expect Jokic to be. Setting up his teammates, grabbing rebounds, grabbing offensive rebounds, putting the ball back in, faking, bringing the ball up court, Jokic is just being Jokic. But it's really good to see his 2 running mates, Michael Porter Jr. and especially Jamal Murray, because we already know. And that was a thing during the broadcast. I can't remember who was calling the game exactly. Excuse me. I apologize. But yeah, there was like, is Bubble Murray back? Bubble Murray. But it's real good to see him drop 40 last night. Real good to see him drop 40 last night. Now let's go to the 2-7 matchup. Lakers and Grizzlies tied at 1 game apiece. The Lakers won the first game, 128 to 112. Rui, as my boy Shannon Sharp would say. He came and led the Lakers with 29 points, 6 rebounds, 5 and 6 from 3. Reeves had 23 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Davis had 22 and 12. LeBron James had 21 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. Lakers, they were just doing their thing. Like Memphis kept trying to cut it to it, kept trying to cut it to the lead. Kept trying to make the game, but it's like every time the Lakers just that's the end of this. But yeah, every time the Lakers They just, just fitted him off, especially in the fourth quarter. Now, it was a real game. Triple J tried to do his thing. He had 31 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Bane had 22, 5 and 6. Morant had 18 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, but he got injured. I want to say it was towards the end of the third quarter. He went, and I think Anthony Davis tried to take a charge basically, and he kind of just fell, and he kind of already injured his hand a little bit. But the way his hand went, and I don't even want to think about it. It was just whew. Taking charge stuff dangerous, especially when you're trying to fly in the air, man. But yeah, he was injured. Did not return the rest of the game. I think that kind of demoralized him. But also Rui Hachimura was just hitting his shots. Yeah, Reed's coming down doing his thing. Davis did what he was supposed to do, 22-12. I think he had 5 or 6 blocks as well. LeBron James had 3 blocks. So it was real interesting. Now, game 2. Memphis came back with a point to prove. Now, John Morant, he did end up missing the game. All X-rays were negative. I think they said there's no damage, structural damage or anything like that. But they played without him, and they've been able to ride the ship without Ja. They've been a pretty good team without Ja. I'm not saying they're better or anything like that, but the offense kind of flows a little bit more smoothly due to the fact of who they are plugging in John Morant's place when he is injured. Tyus Jones is one of the best decision makers in basketball. I think the last 5 seasons he's led the NBA in assist to turnover ratio, and when you have guys like CP3 and Darius Garland and trying to think of some other top premier playmakers in the league, Tyrese Halliburton. I don't know, how can I forget Halliburton? Lord have mercy. But yeah, when you have guys like that in the league, bro, and you lead the league in assist to turnover ratio 5 seasons in a row, it's a very impressive feat. It's just a testament to basketball IQ, decision making. I was about to say time and situation, but that kind of goes into basketball IQ. But yeah, and the time you put in, watching film, understanding the offense, understanding what coach wants from you in certain situations, understanding what needs to be done. Just typical things that, normally a point guard would do, but also a lot of great players do as well. Not necessarily being in the playmaking aspect, but knowing when to go get a bucket or knowing when to try and get a stop and stuff like that. So that's just a testament to how good of a player Tyus Jones is. And I do believe, as a lot of people believe, that he could be a starter on almost any other team. But I think he likes his role. With the Grizzlies. But like I said, game 2 they came out and did their thing. Tillman had 22, 13 and 3. Triple J had 18, 9 and 3. Bane had 17 points. Jones, as I was just talking about, he had 10 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. Now, LeBron had 28, 12, and 3, and Rui had 25 and 2, but nobody else really came along for the ride. Anthony Davis, he only had 13 points and 8 rebounds. Russell only had 5 points. D'Angelo Russell, he's going to have to... Now, he did have 7 rebounds and 4 assists, but 2-11 from the field, Dolo, no, bro. No, Dolo. Dolo, we need better. I don't know what's the word. We need a better effort from you. We need to get your head in the game, bro. Get your head in the game, D-Lo. Like I was talking to Anthony Davis, D-Lo. Stop playing around, bro. Come on, bro. You say how you want to be bad. You ignored the little package with the Minnesota Timberwolves and stuff like that when they were trying to pay homage to you or whatever you want to call it. But D-Lo, get your head in the game. AD, get your head back in the game. I know you might be dealing with a little ankle, little hip or something like that, but come on, bro. Come on, bro. Tillman. You got Tillman out for you. Xavier Tillman, bro. Come on. Come on, bro. Like, I don't want this to become a segment where I just solely talk to you, but come on, bro. You let Tillman outscore you, bro. Tillman, Xavier Tillman. Now, I ain't trying to diss Xavier Tillman, bro, but come on, AD, bro. Come on, bro. Stop playing, bro. Stop playing, okay? Stop playing. But yeah, so going back to LA, we're gonna see what happens. I really expect the Lakers to turn around and possibly even take Game 3, maybe even Game 4 as well. But AD 13-8, bro. D'Angelo Russell 5 points, and then nobody scored off the bench. They had 27 total bench points from 2 people. Rui had 20 of them by himself. And then Beasley had the other 7. Nobody else scored. Schroeder didn't score. Forget about it. But yeah. Now a 2-0 series that I'm very interested in is the 3-6 matchup, and quite frankly, everybody interested in see how the game is going to be. The game tonight has been affected. Kings are up 2-0 on the defending champs. They won the first game by 3 points, 126-123. Fox had 38-5. Monk had 32-3-2. Sabonis had 12 points, 16 rebounds, 2 assists. Curry did his thing. He had 30. He had 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Clay had 21, 6 and 5. Wiggins had 17 and Poole had 17. But the first game, man, Malik Monk, bro. He got a lot of. He reminds me of a younger J.R. Smith, bro. That's exactly who Malik Young plays like. He's like J.R. Smith, bro. Now, of course, he got his own little thing, and he's a lot more aggressive. I think he's a better finisher. I mean, J.R. Smith, he can cram the ball too. Like he can poke on you, but Malik Monk, when it comes to the layups though and the finesse on, I think Malik Monk might have him in that category. But that's what Malik Monk reminds me of a lot of. J.R. Smith, bro. A lot of J.R. Smith in this game. Handle, tough shot making, can get to the rim. I mean, unconscious will just pull it. Now, Kevin Huerter may be the best 3-point shooter on the team, but Malik Monk, bro. J.R. Smith, for sure. That's what he reminds me of. Big pound, big scoring punch off the bench, for sure. Yeah, game 1. It's just the Kings just close it out. It was a heck of a game, bro. Heck of a way to end the first day. Heck of a game. Now the second game, the Kings won 114-106. Sabonis had 24 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. Fox had 24 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, 4 steals. Monk, a calmer game, so to speak. He had 18 points, 6 rebounds. David Mitchell, 14 points, 3 rebounds. He had like 2 steals, I believe. Yeah. Curry had 28, 3, 6. Wiggins had 22, 5 rebounds. Clay had 21 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. The bench had 21 points in total. 13 came from Gary Payton II by himself. I believe Poole scored 4 points and Moses Moody scored 4 points. So that's where all 21 of the points came from. Of course, we already know the stomp heard around the world. Draymond Green pulling Stone Cold Steve Austin on Domantas Sabonis. I'm just playing, man. I might have to, cue in that little Steve Austin clip right there. But stumping the mud hole in Domantas Sabonis, maybe walking the dry. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But yeah, this game, it was just the Kings. Sabonis played a heck of a lot better this game. More aggressive, against the free throw line. You can say he was getting in, him and Draymond Green were getting into it. I know on a couple occasions. I feel like the leg grab thing, I don't really know what to call it. Should Sabonis have done that? No. You don't grab a man's leg, bro, in no basketball game. And people could say he was trying to protect himself and stuff like that. You don't grab a man's leg. If you're on the ground, you cover your face. And you ball up your ankles behind you to try and make sure that nobody step on him. I guess he was trying to do that, but I guess he caught Green. Who knows if he grabbed Green on purpose? Now Green, he got that boy up off him. Hit that boy with that. Hit that boy with that. That gas pedal. Let me stop playing. But yeah, bro. So they're trying to say, well, now they're trying to say. So the league has came out and suspended Draymond Green for Game 3. And I don't know. Now they're saying Domantas Sabonis has like a sternum contusion or something, or a bruised sternum or something like that. Like, he got stuck right in the rib cage. So it's gonna be real interesting to see if he plays, one, and two, how do the Warriors respond without Green? Now, we already know the type of team they are at home. I believe they are 30. They won 30 plus games at home and only losing like 9, and then they're like reverse of that on the road, almost 11 and 30. So it's gonna be real interesting to see how they come out and respond after one losing their enforcer. So I expect Poole to step up. He's gonna have to step up. Now, does he get moved to a starting lineup? Most likely. But Steve Kerr's gonna have something for them. Now, my favorite series overall, favorite series out west, for selfish reasons, Suns and Clippers tied at 1 game apiece. My Clips stole game 1. We stole game 1, 115-110, 38 from Kawhi, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, Westbrook, and 3 of 19, 9 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists, but he was playing some terrific defense. Gordon had 19 points, Plumlee had 7, 11, Zubac had 12 and 11. But yeah, man, Russell Westbrook with the game-saving block. Now, KD didn't have a bad game, and Booker didn't have a bad game. KD had 27, 9, and 11, 1 rebound shot of triple-double. Booker had 26 points. Paul had 7 points, 11 rebounds. Chris Paul with 11 rebounds is wild. 10 assists. Ayton had 18 points, 8 rebounds. Craig had 22 points. Now, in the second game, we had the lead, bro. Had the lead all the way up to probably about, they tied the game right before halftime. But when they went on that little spurt, bro, they did not look back. Suns winning game 2, 123-109. Devin Booker, 38 points, 9 assists. KD had 25, 6 and 5. Chris Paul, 16 points, 8 assists. Ayton had 14 and 13. Everybody in the starting lineup for the Phoenix Suns scored in double digits. I believe everybody also scored above at least 14 points or more, if I'm not mistaken. 14 points or more, man. And it was like a barrage, bro. Like, from that moment on, it was like a barrage. It's like, it was no way we could like really catch up. We caught up and made it a game a couple times. Kawhi did this thing. He had 31, 8 and 7. Westbrook had 28, 5 and 5. But nobody else really did anything, bro. Like, nobody else. Gordon and Norman Powell went for 12 points apiece. Powell went 4-11 from the field. Gordon went 4-12. Plumlee didn't really do too much of anything. Zubac, he didn't really have the type of presence that he had in game 1. But Devin Booker was just taking the game over. Oh, you want the right-hand layup? I give you the right-hand layup. You want the dribble pull-up from midi? I give you that. Or you want the three-pointer? I give you that. And he was also dishing the ball, getting the ball to Ayton and KD. And Torrey and Craig, again, like, I don't understand. Like, I mean, that's the game plan, really. Leave him open. But Chris Paul also made a sight in this game, too. Like, it was just like he was, it's like he's starting to rev up and warm up. He also bucked my guy Kawhi at the end of the game, but you know how Chris Paul is. He's a Hall of Famer for sure, but we know how Chris Paul is, man. But yeah, I really wish we had PG, bro. It's really hard with the type of firepower the Suns got. They're really starting to gel and come together. Continuity is starting to look like it's really showing. Torrey and Craig is really hitting his open shots, given the fact that they know they're going to leave him open. Like, that's Tyler's game plan. You don't want KD going off. You don't want Booker going off. Ayton and Chris Paul, they can also mess you up too if they get some type of synergy and stuff going on. But man, bro, Clips. Game 3 is the night. Can we get back to what we did in game 1? We need the others to step up. Russ did his job. Kawhi did his job. Who else gonna step up? Terrence Mann did his job. Terrence Mann always does his job. Eric Ward, Norman Powell, Zubac, Miles Plumlee, Bones Highland. I need y'all boys to do something, man. I need y'all boys to do something. But this has been your boy Dolo J. Episode 27 of the Kicking It On podcast. Like I said, episode 26 is now tied with the most viewed video on my channel. I really appreciate y'all. And also, don't forget to go follow my guy. I can't believe I almost went the whole episode without this, man. But I'm probably gonna cut this and put it further and probably put it at the beginning. But don't forget to follow my guy, Prescott Kelly, man. Chop It Up with P. Scott Podcast, bro. Make sure y'all go follow my guy on Spotify, man, and help him grow. He sent me some words of encouragement on the last episode. Told me he really liked the episode. So y'all really go, mess with bro, man. Go follow him on Spotify, Facebook, whatever. Get to his socials, interact with him, man. For your boy Dolo J. But till next time, y'all. Peace out.